But Abraham is liable. Is Abraham hearing you? I didn't know. Are we all backstage or what?
Yeah, we stay backstage, but we Abraham on the show.
When we're backstage, you can hear everything that happening on stage. I don't know why we couldn't get it. Yeah, let him play music.
Yeah, he played music.
Tell you, I mean, that you typing it out.
Yeah, look myself.
Let me say welcome to every one of you guys. Here we are discussing Mama Liberia. A lot of issues for us to be able to discuss tonight. We have the representatives sleeping behind by tonight. About information reaching on the Precillia Koffa have been released. Is the government in the right direction to have our lawmakers sleep behind by tonight? What really went on? Let me welcome all of you guys to the Manelson Abraka Talk Show. Here we discuss the truth, nothing else but the God fair truth. Let me go around and be able to bring out the fellow panelists who will be discussing on the issues, who have broad ideas on the issues that we are about to discuss. Is the government right? The police is also part of the government. So is the government right? Making our lawmakers, our honorables, sleeping behind by tonight. Let me go around and be able to bring out my friend and brother Josh. Josh, welcome.
Look, thank you.
Yeah, AB, appreciate you bringing me on the show, and we look forward to discussing nothing but the issues tonight. No personality, but when personality becomes involved, we discuss whatever is meant to be discussed. Thank you.
Okay. Let me bring in my friend and brother, Maxwell. Max, welcome.
Well, thank you very much. This is Maximus, and it's always a pleasure being on this show. And today we, as always, going to discuss Liberia. We're going to discuss the nitty gritties and the momo jomo of the argument, and we're going to be discussing a more trending issue pertinent to the growth and development of our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me bring out my friend and brother, Jalalong. Jalalong, welcome.
Maybe just call me SB, man. Don't destroy my name.
Okay, okay, as we.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm hearing echo for some reason.
Yeah, me too. Same thing.
Yeah.
I'm hearing some echo as well.
Okay,
Maybe I
so
think it's coming back from your set.
yeah, it's coming back from myself. You guys hold on a minute. Uh, let me be able to bring Josh. Okay, so let us have the discussion going on, then I will be able to address that. So Josh, your opening statement.
Look, thank you, AB. I think it is one of the most I don't know how to describe it, but one of the most interesting, days of our country in the history of our native land. I don't know what I should be happy or I should be sad or I should be concerned. I don't know. But as the discussion goes on, we will understand or we will divorce our own understanding of what is happening because I don't think this is justice. I think there is political persecution, and we send a strong warning to President Boakai. President Boakai needs a country that he can govern in peace. He should desist from political persecution because if you don't agree with Boakai, he wants to get rid of you. He did it. He got rid of people at the central bank. He did it as well at LTA. And he done it as fishery. And he's doing it again. He's already done it at the legislature, at the lower house representative. He got rid of the leader there because he didn't want him, and now he wants to put behind bars because he still fears that this man can still come back, and that for me is not good for our country. So I'm here, and let's have a really good discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend and brother, Max.
Thank you very much. And today we witness a historical day in the history of our country. And for the first time in more than so many years, the culture of impunity has been brought to the edge of the store. So today, Liberians all around the world uh, has finally seen and tested, tasted what it means for the judiciary and the prosecuting system of our country to make a landmark and conclusion on the first arsenic attack on the Capitol. So we have already seen the concluding part of the investigation, and this is what the Liberian people wanted. They want to see what the outcome of investigation going to be. The feedback is really disturbing me. I can't really get what I want to say.
No,
But
the
Man,
feedback
when you're
that's
hearing yourself at the right time, you sort of talk and understand, say what you want to say.
no, but the
Okay,
feedback really
clearly.
coming too strong. I think my system was
Okay.
bringing too many strong sound back to me. But anyways, so we saw today that the police listen to the many voices of the people who have been crying that the quote unquote case about the burning of the Capitol being brought to a conclusive end. And we witnessed that, and we have listened to all sides of the coins, commentator, political commentator, and opposition people making statements. But we are here today to discuss the issue, and I think that's the most trending issue right now in the country. So let's have a fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Okay. Our friend and brother SB.
Debee, thank you for having me. It's good to be here with all of you, Josh and Fambula. It's good to be here with you, sharing the platform together. I am here to discuss Liberia. I am not here to jump ahead of any conclusion. What we are witnessing today from the country, where some members of the legislators have been called and currently, placed behind bars. It is part of the judicial procedures. So let's dive into it. But I'm not here to spike any conclusion or accuse any side. I'm here to talk about Liberia. I'm here to talk about what is good and how we can get to a better place as a nation. Again, AB, thanks for having me, and I look forward to a great discussion tonight with all of you.
Okay. So in order for us to have our audience given the right, I would love for us to be able to bring out a clip wherein the police director, the IG, what reasons are the IG having the premium facet? Because you need to be having factual evidence, EU bringing a representative, or them being able for them to be able to castrate the representative. So let's be able to listen to him, and then after that, then we'll come around the table.
Normally do in these kind of cases. So we've been able to look at it and see as much as we are able to share, just to show the level of transparency and everything that has been put into this investigation. So we'll start this by first and foremost acknowledging each and every one of you that are here and say thank you for coming.
I am not hearing anything. I don't know if it's.
Well,
And
I
it's
can
very
hear
low.
it.
fellow Liberians,
It's
I
very
can
low.
hear it.
must unequivocally assert that the current political climate of Liberia, no individual, regardless of their status, influence, or affiliation, is above the law.
I think it's sticking.
The arson attack on the Capitol Hill was not merely an act of vandalism. It was an affront to our democratic principles, an assault on the institution that sustain our republic.
You can hear it now, it's clearer.
To destabilize our hard-earned peace. The perpetrators of these heinous crimes have been charged and will be subsequently forwarded to court. This serves as a stern warning, not only to them, but to anyone who seeks to undermine public order, challenge our collective progress, and try to exploit impunity. The Republic of Liberia will hold you accountable, and justice will be served. As we proudly announce Liberia's induction as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council on June 4th, 2025, we do recognize the global responsibility that comes with this honor. To hold this obligation sacred, Liberia must now exercise maturity befitting its role on the world stage, maintaining peace and stability within our borders, and upholding the rule of law is no longer just a domestic concern. It is a paramount international obligation, and we do not take it lightly. The Liberia National Police is guided by law, driven by empirical evidence, and firmly rooted in constitutional mandate to safeguard lives, rights.
It's breaking in. Is it the same for you guys?
No, we can hear clearly,
We
my
have
man.
instruments of political
Okay, go ahead.
expediency. We're guardians of national
Then
security.
restart your system.
Our mandate is clear.
It's okay.
We strive to uphold it. impartially and in alignment with the security sector and stability pillars of the unrest agenda and the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. In collaboration with our national and international partners, we're enhancing public safety through many targeted initiatives. These include robust traffic enforcement, expanded community patrols, and proactive community awareness campaigns designed to prevent, detect, and investigate crimes. Our mission is to assure that all within our borders, citizens and residents alike, are kept safe, and to succeed, we need the continued cooperation of each and every one. Let me be clear. No one who violates the law of the Republic of Liberia will walk with impunity. The era of tolerance for lawlessness is over. Liberia will not flourish in the shadows of disorder and indiscipline. Accountability must prevail at every level of our society. This moment marks the beginning of a new chapter in which the Liberia National Police remains resolute in its duty. We will not be deterred by threats, will not be silenced by intimidation, we will stand firm, defend the peace, and resolutely resist any foreign or domestic force seeking to derail the progress. Let us all rise to the challenge. Let us build a Liberia that is safer, that is stronger, and more just for ourselves, and not just for ourselves, but for the future. On behalf of the Joint Security, I extend sincere thanks and appreciation to the general public for the cooperation that we have received with this high-profile arson investigation. We deeply value our cordial relationship, and we do not take the trust lightly. The Joint Security and the communities we serve, we look forward to strengthening this partnership for the good of each and everyone in this country. Today, as we climax this high-profile arson investigation, which involves the willful destruction of public property and the endangerment of our nation's security by individuals who abuse their access and positions, we're pleased to provide the public with a transparent, evidence-based account of what actually transpired. And that is why, like I said earlier, this is not a regular case. So we will endeavor to go a little further and tell you as much as we can. So we've gone back to the history of the case to give you timeline, background of some of these events that led to this particular issue. In October 2024, tension ensued amongst members of the House of Representatives over efforts to remove former House Speaker, Honorable Jonathan Fonati Koffa. And these disputes intensified of the Deputy Chief Clerk Office, indicating signs of sabotage. November 10, 2024, the joint chambers were vandalized, chairs were destroyed, electronics destroyed, wires damaged, and making it completely incapacitated. November 11, an investigation. The Capitol Building Security Director, Mr. Bala Coleman, and others were invited to police for questioning. These were some of the things these are some of the initial things that we did to start this investigation. I'm just laying it out so that you can understand, the steps that we've taken our intervention into this issue. And I know there were a lot of back and forth as to what police was doing there, what was police role and stuff. Strictly law enforcement. We had no fish to fry into whatever else was there. When the law is being violated, we step in and we make sure we enforce it. On December 10, 2024, the police investigation did establish that suspect Kivi Ba, alias Kaba, and Joan Ginati, attempted to ignite fire on a circuit breaker panel on the second floor using gasoline. This was an act. This act was a precursor to the larger plan to destroy the entire Capitol building. We started to follow the escalation. Most of you who are journalists who have been assigned in those areas, you saw on a daily basis, week by week, there was a steady escalation in the violence at the Capitol. Every week it was another thing, it was another thing. So all we had to do as law enforcers, just to make sure we go there, play our part, keep everybody safe, and get the day by. We go up to December 17th, and December 17th was the day of the protest. On the protest, there were acts of violence. People refused to take law enforcement orders. They refused to disperse. On that day, one of our officers, Sergeant Kamara, was mercilessly beaten and left for dead because they left him knowing that they had killed him. We were able to gather sufficient evidence indicating that they had believed that he was dead before they left him. So if he hadn't reached to a place where he seemed to have been incapacitated and could not even breathe, they would have continued the assault on him. Not only that they did do that, but they also took away his service weapon. And on that same day, in the same area, there was a meeting that took place in Jalatan where the conspirators finalized the arson plan. And funds were distributed allegedly linked to Representative Dixon W. Seboe of District 16, Montserrado County. Phone conversations, subpoenas revealed that suspects were planning to use gasoline to set ablaze vehicles belonging to legislators. So all of these things, over time, they were collected. I mean, we made sure that we analyzed them properly before coming to this day. I know a lot of people being impatient, a lot of people being wanting to see this thing just happen. Sometimes in investigation, law enforcement can get lucky. This is one of those cases. The lines just fell in pleasant places and the evidence connected itself electronically, scientifically, and we were able to gather and build a strong case. I am super proud of the joint security effort leading to where we are with this investigation. I've been here for a couple of years. I've seen investigation back and forth, I've seen cases into court. I've seen how we struggle sometimes to get cases through. This is one time that I am 100% super proud of the capabilities of the joint security. They say there's unity, there's the strength in unity. The unity of the joint security has led us to these successes that we now have. And as we go on, we'll continue to give you play by play on all of these different issues. So I would like to move on to the day of the arson itself and give you a chronology of all of the happenings. On December 18, which was the day of the attack, by 5:40 a.m., Mr. James Waller, the custodian of the key, opens the building. By 6 to 6:30, the suspects smuggled gasoline into the building, go up on the third and fourth floor, poured gasoline and set the place ablaze. When that happened, that blaze caused the destruction of the joint chambers, the dome, and the entire facility in that particular section of the Capitol building was totally destroyed. We went in, looked at it, and made sure that we secured it properly. But this issue is one that
Okay.
is very sentimental to anybody who loves this country. Anybody who should be leaving this country should be concerned about this particular.
You know, as we listen to the police RJ, this brother, it seems to be like they have dossiers of information from the way this brother was laying it out. But before that, let us be able to give the floor, let us be able to give the mic to my friend and brother George, so he can be able to tell us what do you think that the police ID have said that it is not in order with our laws. Let us give the floor now. You have 2 minutes, please.
Look, Abraham and our listening public, I'm conflicted, on this whole situation because I think all the pronouncement that he carried on, all the technology that was used, according to him, in his investigations.
Mm-hmm.
I think if those two are available to our national police force, I think so much crimes should be prosecuted successfully, or people should be arrested for crimes. But yet, still, we see a lot of crimes happening, and the report are inconclusive and everything. So, on this case, for the IG to declare that he used surveillance, international I know geopolitical, whatever sort of surveillance, he used metadata, he used all these things that he's talking about. It is a good thing, but we are asking them, because this is the same case or the same scenario that play out. Fonati went to court, and this court explicitly said he was the legitimate speaker. This government refused. We are hoping that when he goes to court and he wins this case, the government will not still continue to say he is guilty, because the government is noted for not respecting any verdict from the courts. And it is sad. But yes, here we are again back to square one, because President Boakai does not respect the rule of law. And I'm sure this whole branding of not branding up who have been nothing that ever happened if President Boakai would have only respected that Fonati had won an election at the legislature, and he needed to take his term of 6 years and then go to election another time. But because he's so wanted this position, he made it possible that there was this hijacking of power. And I hear the police IG talking about the time is time of the past, where people commit crime and go free. Right in front of his face, he saw people burglarizing people's cars. He saw people breaking into doors at the legislature. He did not say anything. He did not investigate. But now, on the other side, he wants to do the right thing. He wants to follow all the laws. He wants to bring all the technology available to the world to make sure that he investigate a case. It's a good thing. But we are praying, and we are very conscientious of the fact that if anything goes wrong in this case, if justice is not served, Liberians will not take it lightly, and will continue to remind this government of their use of power that is bringing people to their feet. I think they want the CDC to crumble, but we will not crumble under this kind of illegal rule. What they are doing. Thank you.
So let me just hold you there just a minute. So are you saying that the IG said that the John security, he said, thank God for the John security.
Mhm.
So are you saying that it is not right in then for them to be able to investigate this case to the court? Is that what you are saying?
Look, what I'm saying is that this same IG went to a press conference and said the three missing boys did not die by any unnatural cause, or were not killed by anyone. The president went ahead and said he must still investigate. There is the same. These are the same people that are still in power. There's the same people that went as soon as the building got a fire. The president went to the scene and said hooligans were the one responsible. I think we knew from all indication that this police were going to follow the lead of the president, because he said our hooligans, they will find the hooligans, and that's what they are done. Because we don't see that this is fair. We don't feel that this is the right thing to do. This is political witch hunt, and that's what we believe.
Okay. Now take my
Thank you.
friend Famo. Famo.
For too long, Liberians has yearned for justice. There is this culture of impunity in our country that people who sit at the echelon of power think that they are immune um to to prosecution, and the police has the constitutional responsibility to adjudicate cases that is linked to criminal facilitation, murder, and any other thing that that involve lives and property. So that is constitutional mandate of the police to ensure that perpetrators are brought to book. So today, um, the story that we are hearing, the Liberian people are witnessing, is something that the Liberian people themselves ask for, because we know in Liberia things come up and there is no closure, there is no conclusive ending, because people say, oh, this just going to go in the gossip mill for a few times and then it will just disappear. So knowing fully well that this has been happening historically in our country, the police IG, being a 21st century uh, upright man, thought it wise to change the narrative. And you listen to him, he was very eloquent, and he said that this culture has to end, and it will end starting with this new breed of police and authority. And you can see that he categorically and systematically or chronologically outline all of the events, starting from the inception of the entire incident, with the attempt on the breaker and other things, and all the small pandemonium and the uprising that was going on, with people spraying each other with pepper spray, breaking down the furniture at the joint chamber, uprooting chairs and other things, vandalizing other property that belonged to the state that was bought with taxpayer money. And the police went in professionally, as he explained, and they executed the role they should play as protector of lives and property. But here is the issue: people in Liberia always think that because this person belongs to a political party, and the political party is an opposition political party, so that means it is witch hunt. And that becomes so delusional to think that when somebody creates a crime and belong to a political party or tribe, so that means they should be exempted, they should be exonerated. Look, Liberia is a country of law and order. Fonati Koffa is a seasoned lawyer. He's not just any kind of a person. We all saw that in a recent case at the Supreme Court, when his bill of information was translated and he came out victorious. He celebrated that with a long press conference. And all of those other lawmakers, they have legal representative. So why do you think the police will, out of 73 representative, will just have interest in 5 persons? And
Yeah,
that's
but let me hold you there. I mean, the house of representative. Don't you think that the police did not behave fair to the representative, because calling them for cautioning at the end of the day, telling them that you are not allowed for you to leave? Don't you think that was wrong?
look, there's nothing wrong in criminal investigation, especially when there is a heinous crime of that nature being committed against the state. Since the House of Elders, since the capital was built in 1949, this is the first time in the history of our country
Hmm.
for it to be gutted with fire.
Okay.
And then the issue about justice and a conclusive end, and that had never happened easily in our country. It's very hard, especially when big hands are involved in things, for it to have a conclusive end. It always go down the gossip mill and it disappear. But this
Okay.
time around, the Liberian people are saying we want to get to the bottom of this. So what is so, and what is so wrong
Okay.
for us to come to a conclusive, and also because they are representative, or because they are lawmakers,
Okay.
so, oh, because they are big boys, so we should
You
just let it
you
go.
you, you have 30 more seconds.
So I mean, the police did exactly what it did, and nobody should think that police have not done their due diligence. The police have done sufficient research. I listened, I listened to the IG. He said all of the evidences that we needed, we have gotten it. We have puzzled everything, put everything. We have dotted the I's and crossed all of the T's, and that's the reason why some people don't know why it took this long for this case to be that great, because he said we were carefully analyzing all of the evidences and all of our witnesses and making sure that we have and the substantial evidence, and that substantial evidence is what they call prima facie evidence. They will be forwarded
Okay.
to court, and that's why he said
Okay.
not even 1 inch or 1 second over the judicial time or the constitutional time that they should be in detention, they will
Okay.
exceed. The all other documents they are compiled all, and
Thank
they'll
you.
be forwarded to court, and they'll go there and exonerate themselves before
Thank you.
the full bench of the Supreme Court. Thank you.
Thank you. My friend and brother SB.
Abraham, I do not intend to spend a lot of time on this.
Okay.
What I want to say to this is that we will allow the investigation to play out.
Okay.
I am not going to coin this as a political witch hunt.
Okay.
I am not going to jump ahead of the investigation. What I can do is to ask the government to carry on a fair, transparent investigation so that all of us can get to the root of this issue. The burning of the Capitol building is a shame. It brought a shame to Liberia. I also do not want to speculate that it was done by any individual.
No,
So
it was done by individuals, but
well,
you cannot be
I cannot speculate that. I mean, there has been report that it was done. It seems like it was done by individual. But the investigation will tell us, will point fingers to whether it was done by individual and who committed the crime. No one is above the law. We live in the United States where now President Donald Trump was heavily investigated, was taken to court. We saw that after he had served his country for 4 years as president. It happened right here. In this country where we live, governors has been sent to prison. Governors in this country are equivalent to president of your country. So we have seen where leaders in other countries has been persecuted for crimes committed. But in those countries, including the United States, what they do is that they provide clear evidence. They don't do it based on speculation. They don't do it based on political alliance or affiliations. They go by the law. They provide the evidence. The police IG is arguing, it's saying that there are clear evidence that they have gathered in this case. He pointed out to technologies that have been utilized in this case. I'll share this brief story and then I'm going to end. And this is just giving my own direct experience of modern technologies. I went to Arizona to visit family with my children. I have my 2 boys and I went there. My 7-year-old, while I was taking shower, walked out of the house and got missing. This thing happened in March of this year. He got missing. For over 3 hours, we can't find my son. When the police came, they brought a dog, smell his scent, walking out of the house. You put a technology in the air looking for him, and the dog smell, use his scent and gradually walk around the neighborhood, and my son was behind somebody's house. It was a dog that found him. Plus the technology that was in the head, tracking that dog and his movement. There are technologies. If we have them, if that's some of those technology the IG is pointing to, then great. That will speak to some of the crimes that were even committed, let's say 5, 6, 7 years ago. Hopefully, we can use those same technology to go after those crimes. So I will wait. I will be patient. I will watch the process. My own district lawmaker is behind bar tonight. He's not just my district lawmaker, he's actually a friend. But because, not because Jacob is my friend, then I should come here and start speculating and say, oh, he didn't commit the crime, free him. Jacob is a human being just like myself. If I am caught or if I'm arrested for any crime, I don't want any of you here, my good friends, to start speculating. Allow the process to go on. The best thing you can do maybe is to find me a good lawyer, right? And allow the investigation to go on so that I can gain my freedom the right way. So again, we'll watch the process to go on. But if the government should make mistake to not provide clear evidence in this case and send those guys to prison or convict them with no evidence, then they are tempting the Liberian people to rise up. But I don't believe that will be the case. I believe the government will do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's bring my friend and brother Anthony Gay. Anthony Gay, you are muted. Anthony Gay, you are muted, my friend and brother.
Yeah, good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good to be here. So I'm gonna begin by saying, I feel as though this particular case is a distraction, well calculated before releasing what they did today. Why? Yesterday we saw the president in Nima County walking down to a Elemental Steel new concentrator, something that can sift the iron ore and put it in order. According to them, that particular plant will create 6,000 jobs. This is the first of its kind that the government creating 6,000 private sector jobs. This should be celebrated, right? But the next day, we have a national case taking the attention from that particular thing. Why? Because a concentrator does not benefit the whole country. It only benefits the company itself. This is not a steel mill plant. This is a concentrator that will do the job in the interest of the company, not Liberia. And it will not create no 6,000 jobs. It's a misinformation. And so I went on the Executive Mansion Facebook page and posted the research that I did between a concentrator and a steel mill. And I posted that information there. And how the article outlined what a steel mill would do for Liberia, how many jobs it will create for Liberia, and the long-term benefit and the value added to our iron ore as opposed to this concentrator. So I want to agree with part of what Sandy said. I will hope that this government have all of the evidence to prosecute this case properly. But where I disagree with this action of this government,
the police IG said they have all of the T and the dot. They will be able to dot all of the T and to make sure that the evidence that they have, if you've seen the police having their press conference today and calling those far representatives, so the police IG said, so that means that they have concluded with their indoor meeting with their evidence that they had. So are you now saying So the police and the government, they decided to divert the people's mind on the job creation in which the government said, in which Arson and said that they were providing. But instead of that, then they came to come to arrest 5 of
Because
our
my dear
lawmakers.
brother, concentrator will not create no 6,000 jobs. Because what that thing does in the civilized way or in the industrial world is called concentrator. In the simple man English, it's a sifter. All right, the same way you can sift things. But because of the huge quantity of iron ore being processed, you need something of that caliber. It's a hydraulic machine,
Yeah,
right?
we understand
That
that.
operates itself.
Yeah, we understand that.
And you
But now,
have very few individuals working. It's not going to hire no 6,000 people.
yeah, but we are not talking about that hiring process.
But hold
We
on
are
now,
talking
hold
about
on now, hold on. There is a clever way of this unity party. They are very good with propaganda instead of governing, right?
Anthony, we are
So
discussing different issue here today.
listen, hey, Formula,
We're
when
not
you were speaking,
discussing that one right now.
I did not interrupt. This is my time I'm using.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
the
not
time. You're right.
interrupt you. Please.
Yeah, it
Hold
is
your
your time.
peace.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm clearly stating tonight, and I want to be on record,
Okay.
that when you call a person in for questioning, all I know Fonati, Koffa, the rest of the other people being in the country, they're not running going anywhere. They can afford a lawyer to get a bill or whatnot. They chose to do this on a Friday evening. Fonati been there since 9 o'clock this morning. They said they were not ready. He was leaving, and the next thing we know, they told him to stop. He got stopped abruptly, and they said you should go back in. And how all the things start unfolding. So from yesterday celebration now in Nima County to this national issue diverted the whole conversation to this, because this government know that what they did yesterday is not going to gain any public public attention, because we already knew that concentrator will not create no 6,000 jobs. I challenge them because I know what that thing is, right?
Okay.
And so this issue now, they could still call these guys in for questioning and giving the president, giving the lawyer to be bailed out and go to court on Monday. They chose not. They chose not to do that. Donald Trump was never locked up. He was brought to court and posted a bill and went back and went to court every single time there was a court. And everything was done publicly, and we saw what happened.
But there is
What I'm
some,
saying here
there
is
is
that
some
I'm not
crime,
saying they should
there
not
is some
investigate.
crime,
Listen,
there is
I'm not
some crime.
saying-
I come in. There
Okay,
is
go
some
ahead. I'll allow
crime,
you.
there is some crime that are bearable. There are some crime that are non-bearable. I hope you know that.
I know, but this one is available. Hold on.
Precillia Cooper, she was bailed out by her lawyer this evening.
Yeah.
So
So
why is this?
Are you saying
Why?
Fonati Koffa cannot afford to pay himself out?
That's why I left for you now, for you to be able to answer.
No. Are you saying the rest of the representatives are there, they cannot afford a lawyer? I'm asking. Are you saying that these rest of the lawmakers
I am saying to you, if Precillia Cooper was bailed out, then why do you think that the other 4 people were not bailed out?
I'm also wondering why they were not bailed out. I don't know the answer to that. I'm wondering why they were not bailed out, because they can afford to be bailed out. That's for sure. They are not broke. They can afford to be bailed out. They can afford a lawyer. Fonati Koffa can afford a lawyer. The other 3 other individuals also can afford a lawyer. They are not broke individuals. So I don't see why they were not given the opportunity to have a lawyer or to have themselves bailed out. That's why I'm wondering. Because they're not going to run away from the country.
You have 30 more
All
seconds.
alone, the whole Saka Fonati being in the country, he did not run away. Why now he going to run away? So I mean, I'm I'm clever. I'm telling you tonight that Unity Party very clever when it comes to propaganda.
Okay.
This whole thing here, 6,000 jobs, is not coming to no Nima County at
Okay.
Elementary School with a concentrator. It's
Okay.
not going to happen.
Okay. Thank you. Look, guys, do you think it was necessary for Moses, former representative, and I will play you his clip.
Chief,
I wish you can read the article I posted.
let's go here.
the CDC long live! Viva! The fighting spirit of ultimate Akara Mosegre, viva! Down, injustice down! Down, abuse of human rights down, police brutality down! Down, bad governance down! Down, police brutality down! Manda! Away to! Long live the fighting spirit of Honorable Akara's Mosegre, long live! Long live the fighting spirit of the CDC, long live! Viva, Master CDC, viva! Viva, Master CDC, viva!
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the Fifth Estate, we have come almost to the climax of the day. First, I want to appreciate all those who been here this morning. I sympathize us. Some of them went home. Some stay around up to this point. And we been here, and our responsibility to be around is to make sure that we exercise the necessary calm and the necessary restraint. That's why I came on this part to ensure at least the media has been here, the entire Liberian media to the extent. You see, there have been no rock stone throwing. People have been very calm, peaceful, organized. But we got a message for President Boycott and his people. President Boycott has purposely chosen to turn the country into chaos. Let me repeat. President Boycott has voluntarily chosen security apparatus of this country to turn this nation into chaos. Our responsibility is to protect the peace and stability of Liberia. We're not tolerating no pamper or chaos from the president whose legitimacy is being questioned. The way he won the election in this country with the margin, it questions his legitimacy as the president of the Republic of Liberia. And having said that, we are on a moral obligation as the custodian of the national peace and security of the country. Those who went to elections and peacefully gave up power and felt that it was significant that the people of Liberia remain safe and that the country is protected. But the chaos that President Boycott has brought upon himself will erect, like many people will say, the necessary checkpoint by protecting the peace and the security of our country. I can publicly state to you that Fonati, Koffa, and 4 others are political prisoners of the Republic of Liberia. They were targeted, they were wrongfully caught in under the pretext that they only want to ask them some question, not knowing that they wanted to have arrested them. Not only prisoner, down, human rights violations down, down, human rights violations down. Not only are they political prisoners, but I can say to you that the fundamental human rights have been abused. My understanding is that the court refused to provide a writ today because the government did not have sufficient justification. Crimes are not transferable for any reason. All we knew is that we were informed in the last 14 to 15 hours that they were not going to arrest them. They only wanted to ask them, they are people of interest, they only wanted to ask them a few questions. And
Anthony, do you believe that those 4 others are political prisoners? Anthony, you are muted. Anthony, you are muted. Anthony, you are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're better. Like I said, do you believe that those 4 others are political prisoners?
The way the whole thing has played out, there is a political undertone. However, I want to give this government the benefit of the doubt to
do you believe that according to Moses Ascaragre, he said that he believed that those 4 others, Fonati, Koffa, and 4 others, that's why Precillia Cooper have been free today. He's saying that he believed that those 4 others plus Fonati, Koffa, they are political prisoners. Then my question to you, do you believe that they are political prisoners?
There is a political undertone with this case.
Okay.
But I want to give this government the opportunity to exercise due process. Under our law, you are presumptive innocent until proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. And I will allow the process to play out. And I will allow them to be represented. I don't think they should have spent the night at the prison or at the police detention center. I thought they should have given the opportunity to have a bail and show up to court. And if if they have, as they said, they have all of the evidence, if they can provide the evidence and the jury can convict them beyond reasonable doubt, then yes, they can be taken to prison.
Okay.
In my
Thank you.
opinion, I don't think they should have been played out the way they did, but I clearly understand why they did what they did, because they're trying to sway our attention from
Okay.
what happened yesterday in Lima County, because they spent too much money for the
Okay.
president to be dispatched over there. Just for the president to be dispatched to Lima County coming back, that's not small money the government spent yesterday.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
I mean,
Jala, SB, were you listening to Moses Ascargray? What first came to your mind?
Well, look, Abraham, I am one of those that is against gathering people in this form and manner.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I publicly rebuked that action when Akara's grade called on folks to gather today.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it's necessary. I didn't think it was the right thing to do. We need to start discouraging Liberians from just these, silly gatherings, from having these those kind of silly gatherings. I call them silly because they really don't have any sort of bearings on our democracy. This is a legal process. It is an investigation ongoing. Why gather people outside to, chant, battle, whatever? Our people are so less busy that they can gather for anything.
You think so?
Now, well, they are so less busy. Abraham, you went to work today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If some of those people have work to go to today, you think they will get on the street there? They don't have job to go to, Abraham. That's the problem. If you push your 8 hours and go home exhausted, who's going to call you, Abraham, come on the street? Are you going to follow them? We see people, again, presidents, lawmakers, state leaders in this country are called for investigations, and you will not find anyone behind them except their lawyers. Except their lawyers.
I disagree, Sammy.
Well, you will come.
Okay.
But in Liberia, you find that to be a very common trend. Anthony, I mean, you can disagree. You might find maybe one or two instances. But what we see in Liberia is that it's everyday thing. Any small thing, somebody would just call and say, let's gather here. But look, listen, you saw the number today. You saw how reduced the number was.
Okay.
Akara's great thought that he was going to bring, millions of people on the street today. We saw just few handful.
Okay.
Our people are learning. Anthony, they are learning.
Okay.
Our people are getting away from people just pulling them left and right.
Okay. As we love you there.
Again, let our people, especially the young people, let me end on this quick,
Okay.
especially the young people, learn to follow due process. Don't just allow any politician to control your mind. That's all I can say.
Family, what do you have to say when Moses Ascargray saying he questioned the legitimacy of JMB, how he came to power? Moses Ascargray saying that he does not believe that the president came to power legitimately.
Look, it is only Anthony and Josh who agree with that kind of a statement, because they are the ones who will always think that it's okay to pin this government black, because I think they felt that the election was stolen from them. But how can we take a man like Akara Gray this serious? Akara Gray has stood up for nothing and he fell for nothing. This Akara Gray served for 12 years and he was caught red-handed in recent election trying to steal his way back to power. And thank God the media houses, and this global village we have today, that everybody's eyes are on the satellite, and he was brought to book. Akara Gray is one of those people who has abused so many young people in our country. And I'm happy that young people's eyes are opening. But today, let's be honest. Go back to that video. Look at the category of people that was standing behind Akara Gray today. Look at them. Look at them. And then you will know that Akara Grade will not take any serious manner. Did you see somebody standing behind Akara Grade like a student from any the university or any of the sister university in the country? No inclined person that had hairs over their shoulder was stand behind Akara Grade to raise battle cry. Akara Grade himself appeared very timid, very cowardice. Look at his body language. After yelling on Spoon yesterday that you should get ready to arrest 10 or 1,000 of sedition if Fonati and a lack of other representatives are arrested, you should get ready to imprison us. Didn't you listen to him last night making no reckless statement? But that's why I consider it to be a verbal diarrhea. And Akara Gray stood over there only for the cameras, very timid. He already saw that the place was ready and organized, and he couldn't even take an inch. All he did was to have the journalists to come, and he gave a press conference. What the video, Akara Gray was never looking across the road. He was always looking all around, looking for his escape route. So just in case anything happened, you will get slipped between the houses and disappear. And today he tried to coin another word. Instead of using regroup, he said they were what? What's the terminology he used? He did not use the terminology that was used by our brother VP Vandera Party regroup. He said they will, I don't know, they would disembark. He said we will disembark. You see it? Will disembark and come back. So Akara Gray, you already know the kind of element in the character Akara Gray, a man who is now recorded in history to have moved on peaceful students on the university campus and brutalized them. The man who threatened administration,
30 seconds.
who insulted Manaseli and threatened the administration of Manaseli for 12 years. In the end, just to succumb to say he support President Weah in protecting the families and Manaseli. So how can we reconcile that kind of a man? So look, the Liberia National Police is on the red front, and today we're very clear, and the government were very unequivocal. Anyone who thinks that they will infringe or they will obstruct the process that was going on, they will meet the full force of the law.
Thank you.
And that's what we want in our country. No more culture of impunity. You have a right to assemble, you have a right to free speeches, but you will not obstruct and you will not intimidate and undermine the existing reality of our Liberian people. And the time has come. Our people eyes are open. They are seeing and they know very well that Akara Gray and the other guys, they are not in the interest of the country.
Thank you.
They are only in the interest of themselves, and they are only in the interest of they and their family. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Now bring in my friend and brother Josh.
Yeah, before you bring it, George, I was implicated in Famula's expose just now. So if I may, 30 seconds, please.
No, let us take Josh. Then from there, we'll get 30 seconds across the board.
Yeah, but you have to ask the
Look,
digital 30 seconds because he implicated me in his expose. So I gotta respond to that. Thank you.
look.
Okay.
Thank you, my brother. You know the thing is that it's very comical when our friends come on here and want us to today believe something different than
What
what it
can
has always been.
what chemicals about what the brother has said? What chemicals about that?
The comical thing about it is that when Mo Ali was called by police, the current president, President Bwakai, walked to the police station. They were there. At that time, it was not intimidating police. That time, it was freedom of walking. Today, article, Akara's great went on the road and spoke to the media. Everyone is bashing him. He should leave the police. Yesterday, this president, who we call president now, marched to the police station because the police wanted to speak to one of his partisan. Did you see Josh? We are there today. No,
Now,
because we believe in the rule of law. So the comics on the show that want us to believe that it is bad today that people speak to the media or people gather in support or solidarity to their friends, I think we don't have space for them here. Because the thing, what we should be saying now is the merit of this case. Let me tell you, the lady that was being sent home, she's a United Party partisan. She only supported Fonati Koffa. She is from the
Precillia
UP.
Koffa.
Precillia was let to go home with her lawyer, according to them. But the other 4 lawmakers who are from the CDC were not allowed to go home. Guess what? Look at the trend of things, the way it happened. They went up by 9 o'clock. They kept them until Fonati said, "Me, I won't go home now. See, you're not saying anything to us." You were about to go home, then they stopped him by force. They said, "You can't go." That's how they brought him inside and they charged him. And they said they charged him. And guess what? The charge could not even come from the court. How can you charge somebody without any charge by charging them about, "Oh, you are charged," and you still are sending you to prison? It doesn't make any logical sense. You don't have a charge sheet. You don't. The charge did not come from the court because the judge did not approve it. But you still took this man, and then you say Precillia should go home, and the other 4 guys should go to prison. And you think it does not have a political tune to it? We are not stupid. We are not stupid like we used to be before. That people will just come and say whatever they want to say, and we believe them because they can speak. They can speak eloquently. That's not the time for that. We know the history of Liberia. We know what things have been, and we know how things have changed, and we know how people are hypocritical. We will not sit down and allow President Boakai to misrule in our country, and we want to sit supinely and then think that, the law, we must follow the law, so we sit down, we cannot have any solidarity march. We won't do that. And whatever it makes to get angry, you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do, but we will do it. We have a freedom of movement. We have freedom to protest. We have the freedom to assemble, and every means that is given to us legally, we will use it to make sure that this case has a conclusive end in which justice will be served. We will not allow it anymore, because long before today's day, our party, the CDC, has always been considered as the lesser of people in Liberia. There's no political party in Liberia that will tell you that armed men went into their own party headquarters and shot people dead. I was in Liberia when it happened. No political party has that particular history that people went to kill them in their own party headquarters. Not that they went to protest outside. The same police director, he was a police director at the time when CDC members were shot and killed. These are the people that CDC should have prosecuted when they came to power. But because we say, look, we want peace. President Weah is a person of peace. He wants to make sure that we all live in harmony. He let it go. He has left, and they have come back, and then the same police director who was responsible for the killing of our partisans, our party headquarters, he goes ahead and then verbally charge our partisans without a charge sheet and send them to prison. For us, too long we have suffered under the United Party regime. The first 12 years, they shot and killed us. Before they came to power, they killed our members again, some in Lofa and some in Monrovia. This will not take, and we'll use every means possible to make sure that what they are doing, they will get, the force that we will apply will be directly proportional to the force they are applying as well. Because we will not take too long, we have suffered, too long we have been used as scapegoats. Because of their political machineries, they use it to suppress us and depress us in our own country, and that will not take. So, whoever wants to say anything, they can say whatever they want to say.
So you see that as a suppression. You see that as a suppressions.
Exactly. Let me see. Let me tell you.
But CDC have more lawmakers. So the other lawmakers were not called. Why do you think that the five of them were called?
The five of
plus
them were
plus a united partisan, according to you. Why do you think that happens?
look. I think the target in this whole investigation is Fonati Koffa. President Bwaka did not want Fonati Koffa as the as a speaker. He made sure that even
He
when
is not
court ruling
speaker.
came,
He is not
yes, he
speaker.
removed. Yeah, he removed him as speaker. Remove the man and say, okay, I'm sitting down. Then you still go for him to go and prosecute the people in jail. That is not just prosecution. That is a witch hunt, and we will not allow it.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's bring my friend and brother Anthony. Anthony, what you have to say? Anthony going off. Well, Mars, do you have anything to be able to say before we go to the phone line?
Yeah, quickly. You know, when people run out of ideas, they tend to categorize other people thoughts as comical. And when they are given the chance to speak to the issue, they dabbles in catch phrases and inane cliches. You don't hear them saying anything so repetitive thing. They'll be repeating themselves over and over and not making sense. Look, the culture of impunity in that country, we continue to say it in bold face. It has to end. There are too many people in our country in at the apex of leadership, and the leadership that they got in was given to them by the ordinary people, but yet and still they abuse them. We are speaking about an arsenic attack on the capital, and somebody sitting here say we should take it and treat it lightly, or because that CDC, that's the reason why. Look, I've said it before on your show. I said Liberia does not belong to sedition. Liberia does not belong to Wiashen. Liberia belongs to Liberians. For people who has said it repeatedly in every corner of our society in Liberia, that they categorize themselves as a particular individual as if that they are not Liberian, and they think that the country belongs to them, and because they are not in leadership, so that means they will make the country ungovernable. We continue to tell them that there are laws that govern our country, and is the Magna Carta, which is the organic law of our land, the Constitution, and the Constitution will be defended at all times. And
Thank
those
you.
who are in authority to defend the Constitution are equipped and ready to discharge their duties. So,
Okay.
Representative Gray today knew fully well that he couldn't get right-headed people to go behind him with that nonsense. So he took those disadvantaged boys and put them behind him. Go and watch a video. See them. You already know the category of people that he put behind him.
Okay.
And that's the reason why you saw him very timid today. He appeared very, very cowardice and pusillanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me say here, you can keep your call coming out on 952 452 4848. Once more, 952 452 4848. Let us dive into another topic. What do you all make of Labra winning the non-permanent seat? What do you think? What do you think it will bring to our country? What value have been added to the country? Family, you go ahead. Family.
Sorry, I missed out on that. There was a little glitch. What did you say?
I was saying that what value do you think have been added to the country with the country winning the non-permanent seat? I just want you for you to be able to get.
Oh, look, this is a historical milestone. And every Liberian, every patriarch, everyone who consider themselves to be a nationalist will celebrate this. This has put Liberia on a different pedestal. Liberia more than 60 years had not been on this council after being a founding member of the United Nations in 1945. And today we've been back since we have Angie Brooks that represented Liberia before on that. And since then, we never had the opportunity. So today, Liberia sitting on that council, I placed it in a different bracket. So now we can discuss bilateral issue. We can discuss security issue in our region, especially with the polarizing region we have now, and the 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 uprising of a terroristic organization in the region, and you can find that in neighboring Nigeria, where you have Boko Haram is raging heck, and you have in the Sahel region, where there is too many different fractions going on in Central Africa Republic, going on and on. We can name over and over. So today we have Liberia sitting after more than 20 some more years. We have democratically, and tested our democracy, and we have had successive election, telling you the strength of our democracy. So it has given Liberia a different face out there, and people are seeing us now as a beacon light of hope for other countries who before it felt that Liberia was nowhere. So we want to say that all Liberians should celebrate this, and we should continue to support our peace and unity in all part of the world, because like now, because of the war in other part of in Europe, it has affected the global chain, and people think that the suffering that is happening today in Africa, Liberia, and other places, it is only Liberia. Some people, they are brainwashing our people. They are making reckless comment, thinking that the suffering in Liberia is only in Liberia. It's global, but
Thank you.
government has the ability to minimize the suffering.
Thank
And
you.
difficult times are bound to come, but they don't last. But tough people will. Thank you.
My friend and brother SB, what do you
Well,
have to say
uh,
about Liberia being added to the non-permanent seat? Liberia just won.
yeah, this is
So
a great news for our country. This is great for Liberia. Again, this put us back. Like, I don't want to repeat what Famula have said,
yeah,
but we can all celebrate this. We hope that the government will use this uh, seat the right way, meaning that they will use this to negotiate for Liberia at all front. I know this in itself is not, bringing any sort of development directly to Liberia, but what we can use this for is that we can, whenever we are engaging with partners outside of Liberia, whenever our leaders go out there to represent us, that they can use this to throw some positive image out there for our country. And hopefully, this, uh, you know, can highlight some of the positive things that we are doing in the country, and that people will trust us, will want to do business with us, and that people will see Liberia as a place where rule of law is respected, and that they can do business with us as a nation. Um, I hope also that with us being on the seat, that our government can now put in measures to ensure that we have some level of stability in the country. Our security sector must be in tight. We must ensure that we maintain the peace at all costs. That does not mean that we do not bring people to book, or that we do not go after people that are determined to destroy the country. But we must not be, the government must not be the one causing chaos in the country. The government must create an image that people will see and position us and see us as a place where they can do business. All in all, Abraham, this is good for our country. It is good for Liberia, and I hope that we can benefit something great from this election. Thank you.
thank you, George.
Thank you, Maybe I think the non-permanent seat is a very good achievement for Liberia, and I think we hope that this government can leverage that to create an enabling environment in our country to make sure that we are set like an example for other nations to follow. Because mind you, Congo is currently at war, but Congo won with us. So that winning that seat did not mean that we are good people or our country is better. It means that UN every year or two they select two countries from Africa to represent Africa on that committee. So uh, if anyone comes to you and tells you that Liberia is on that seat because we got a good president or got a good governance system, they are lying to you. The truth of the matter is that we've supported other people to win, and we told them that this is the time we won. So those people supported us too. They decided not to go against us because we supported them when it was their time to go. So it's just like Susu. When somebody time to eat, nothing can stop it. It was our time to eat, and nobody went against us, and we ate. But now is the time now to use that slot, not as a slot to muscle political opponent in our country. It is a slot that we can use to make our country more viable, to invite people to come and visit. Because when your country is not a country where every day people in the street chanting because government cannot control the political climate, because instead of they governing, they are fighting for 2029. Even though they are in power, they are not even focusing on the power that they have, but they are focusing on 2029. So they want to deplete their opponent before 2029. And that's the whole thing that's happening. These people want to deplete the CDC because they know that CDC is a major opponent to them. And for that, they are doing everything possible to make sure that CDC is depleted and killed and finished with altogether. And that will not happen, because I don't think that's the reason why we were opportune to get such a recognition by our colleagues at the United Nations. So look, what I want to say today is a good thing, but how well can we use this opportunity to make our country a better place? I don't think so, because President Bwaka does not have the ability.
I mean, you are saying how well that we can be able to use the opportunity. Liberia will be able for them to be able to send 25 manpower to the Secretariat of the Security Council. 25 men, young men and women. So is that not something rewarding?
Look, like I said to you, Congo, currently there are peacekeepers going there. They're fighting, but they just won with us. What does that tell you? It tells you that not because you are good, that's why you win. Not because you are this. The only reason you won because the UN requires 2 members from Africa. And guess what? Because you supported the other people, that time they went there, they see, they got it. Your time came, you told them, say, in 2025, I want a seat. They say, okay, so support us now. You supported them. That's what the previous government did. They supported other people throughout. So their time was designated that everybody would support them. And that's why nobody stood against Liberia. So all the noise about people dancing. How will you go to graduation or go to the time to share in grade sheet, and then you still don't know whether you pass? Liberia knew that because there was no opposition. There was nobody going against us. How will you go to the graduation hall and feel that you're not graduate, or they will not give your grades because you passed? Nobody was going against us. Like you vote. Okay, they say election in Liberia. Then no political party register. Only Bwaka alone. Bwaka will go campaign? No, because no opponent. The registration, the 2 people that register Congo and Liberia, they register even before Bwaka came to power. They register and say, we want to see, Liberia want to see, so that only 2 of us will get to go before Bwaka came to power. So I don't know how they spend money, and they said they were doing campaign. How will you do campaign against something that nobody is going against you? The only thing you need to convince people to vote for you when you get somebody who want the same thing you want. But it wasn't like that. So the whole thing, the whole noise about this is like there's no achievement for this government to boast of. So they're looking for triviality, looking for anything that they can hang on to say, oh, we achieved it. They did not achieve this. This is not an achievement because guess what? Congo that is fighting currently, that refugee running in the bushes, they won.
Okay,
So it's not
thank
an
you.
achievement. Thank you.
Thank you. With this, Brother Max, your closing statement.
Oh, we're closing now.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What a great show, my friend and brother. It's always a pleasure being on your platform. And today, Liberia has flipped a new page, and we hope that this will not be the only high-profile case. There are a lot of other cases we want to see a closure of, and let us ring to everyone that the law is the law, and no man is above the law. And that's the reason why when our founding fathers crafted the Magna Carta, they said all men were created equal, and that this organic law should govern all affairs of the state. So anybody who go against the law will take a course. So we want to congratulate the government of Liberia for its enormous effort it's doing developmentally. Look, the only reason why you see opposition keep coming up with something different, it is because they are seeing the workings of this government. Many of the planned protests and other things that this opposition, this weak opposition, have planned, they have not succeeded in spreading fake news, propaganda. They managed to infiltrate to go on Spoon platform to regain some relevance, but the Liberian people have unearthed their falsehood, and it's showing all over now that the President Boakai is not only moving pokorokpo as how is termed, but he's moving majestically. He's moving developmentally.
Thank you.
He reconstructing roads. He now commissioning major investment like they concentrated now in Nima County. Other
Thank
people,
you.
opposition can spin it any way they want to spin it, but that
Thank you.
is it was not there before and now it is there. But with we got more to come. The Union Party is working in the interest of the people. They are bad apples, but they'll be weeded out. Like this government, President Baka have shown evidence that he is a president that listens and takes action.
Okay.
Unlike previous administration, people who were accused of corruption, they were never even called upon. But this
Thank you.
government is turning people over for investigation. They are dismissing people, and you can see that now the Liberian people will see the full effect of what it means to have a responsible and a dedicated government. We
Thank you.
pray and wish Liberia all the best, and thank you very much again.
Thank you. SV.
Thank you for having me on the show. This is my first time here, Abraham,
Yeah,
and it's good to.
I hope this will not be your last time.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, hopefully not. I enjoy the exchanges here. I mean, we are the same thing from the Spoon Late Night Show, so it's good to come here and always engage with my friends. It's always about Liberia. For me, I do not see political politics. I do not see politicians. I see Liberia. The investigation that is ongoing concerning the burning of the Capitol building.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that that investigation will be transparent. It will be fair. I hope that the Liberian government will provide the evidence or evidences they claim to have in their possession. I hope that this will not be politically motivated. Uh, we deserve answers to who burned, to know who burned the Capitol building. Uh, no one is above the law in our country or anywhere. That's why Liberia runs a democratic system that ensures the rights of everyone. So whether it's the president, whether it's the vice president or whosoever, that is caught doing the wrong thing in Liberia must be brought to book, to face the law. Let us not, give out any speculation here or give out verdict based on speculations. Let us wait to allow this process to unfold. And hopefully, at the end of the day, we will get to the root of this whole saga. Thank you again for having us.
Thank you.
And let us all, especially us, the young people, continue to highlight the good image of our country, promote development, promote things that will build Liberia, so that Liberia too can be developed. We all deserve a better Liberia. Thank you, and thanks to those that are watching and all listening to us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. George.
Thank you. Look, Ibrahim, thank you very much for having me. I think this is my second time on your show, and I want to thank you for this platform that you've created. Even though this is one of the platforms I used to really dislike when you used to do it by yourself, because you were very abrasive. But I will leave that. But what I want to say, I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I think it's always fair to come out and speak our minds, because it's our mind only, and no one in any way possible should maybe suppress or into submission, or to depress us, you know what I mean, or whatever they want to do to sway us from saying what is up here, what is in our mind. Because this thing yesterday, these same people who are in power today, these are the same people that used to go out in the street every time police called people from their party when they did anything. These same people, when Vani Shema was invited by police, every one of these people went there, including President Boakai. Mo Ali, President Boakai went there. When they said President Weah should step down, President Boakai was there in a protest, trying to make sure that President Weah came down. But today we found that everything President Weah did, he's following to do the same thing. President Weah came out with an executive order to abolish tariff on rice. President Boakai has come to power. He did not come with anything new, but the same thing. He just signed another executive order so that there's no tariff on rice to continue what President Weah left. He did not come and say, oh, look, we have to go to the soil, we have to do this, we have to do that. These are machines. Let's build this, let's build that. But he's still doing the same thing. So I wonder why he even came to power in the first place. Because it's a complete waste of our time and our energy to see a man who comes to power with no idea, but cry all alone, fighting to take President Weah from the presidency to come there to bring nothing but chaos. Because our country now is in chaos. You don't see it, but I don't think there's a climate where investor wants to go. And I just want to close up by talking about that that inauguration that he did in Niba County. Look, what I want to say to that concentrator, the concentrator is in the benefit of the company. You know what concentrator does? Like, for instance, let me take it from concentrator. Let me bring it to the common thing people know. When you get rice on your farm and the rice not grow good and you want to cut it, then they say, because you want the rice fast, you want to take it fast, you can go. Then people say, oh, we get on a machine. Well, when you take the rice from there, when you cut the rice, even when you're young, that you're not grow, you're not rare, you put it in a thing, it can make it to grow quick, it can make it to get food, get it the same way it's supposed to be. That's how that machine looks. Our order is in the ground that is not mature yet, that is not to certain quality. They want to still take it from in our ground, put it in a machine so it can refine it to make it sure that it has the quality that they want to sell over there to make more money in Europe. That's what I think it's for. And guess what? It does not in any way have the potential to employ more than 100 persons. Even when they said people will change shift to sit inside to control it, because it's just button you're going to be pressing for things to flow and things to stop and things to do this. That just control system. So it will not in any way. It's a big blatant lie that President Bouaka and his people are trying to portray to the Liberian people that particular concentrator is going to employ 6,000 people. It's a blatant lie. They should not allow the world. I work with a mining company here before. I work and when we use the reason why the company that I work with closed is because when they send the ore to China, Chinese said they didn't want the ore because the ore was not to certain grade. So that's why even the company I work for, that's why it closed in 2021. So the company said, okay, we'll buy a concentrator and install it here so that we can modify the ore, so that we can so we can make more money out of it, because they were buying one truck load, they were buying it for $3. For instance, I'm not just saying the same amount, but they're buying for $3. But if you put that ore there that has that grade that the people wanted, they will buy for $10. So you make more money, right? That's what that company wants to do. They want to make more money out of our ore and make sure that even when someone that even good sell, will take it from there and wash it, and put it in a concentrator for it to safeguard, to make sure that they can sell it and make more money than they should make by the grade of it. So it does not in any way. So this thing, I want to join my brother and friend, how they call him, I forget his name, Anthony, to say this is a distraction. The first thing, you invited people on a Friday when you were done it on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They invited these people because they want to set an example. They want to create news, international news. They say, oh, they are jailing a former speaker. They are jailing 5 lawmakers because of XYZ, just to create a headline. But this case is going nowhere because there's no evidence. Everything that the IG said was complete showboating, and because we know that there's no evidence to prove anything that he said. In this case, if it is not muscle politically, this case goes nowhere. The same way Simon Toa is still begging them, come and judge my case, come and judge my case. They say they're still planning, looking for evidence against Simon Toa. Remember, they said they wanted to arrest upon arrival in Liberia. They said, man, they're telling the message, you can't judge me. They said, no, we're looking for evidence. We're looking for evidence. How you don't have the evidence that you want to arrest me? So this whole case is just a political shenanigan, and we're hoping that it's going to come and go easy and quick as soon as possible. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
Thank you. Let me say thank you to every one of you guys for tuning in to the Magnificent Abraka Talk Show. Trust me, tomorrow we'll be seated here at the same time, same place. Maybe the same panelists as well. And let me say thank you to my friend and brother SB. And let me say thank you to Josh.
Clean like well.
and let me say thank you to my friend and brother family. And that's how we do it here. Bye-bye for now.